Hey folks, my name is Pravus and welcome to more Extinction Day as I guide you through the maximum difficulty settings for each of the different disasters that you'll be using to destroy the world. Today we're going to be talking about the storms. Now, storms are fairly similar to the respiratory disease in that they are very easy to understand. No complicated mechanics for this one, unlike pretty much all future disasters going forward. The problem with the storms, though, is whereas the respiratory disease is kind of sneaky, you can go under the radar and then rapidly increase lethality, storms are very noticeable right off the bat, which means the human's awareness and countermeasures are going to be a problem throughout the scenario. On top of that, storms are very slow to spread. So we're going to have a hard time getting across the globe. This is where using active abilities can really save you. We're going to probably need one or two of them at maximum difficulty, but I'll try to make this a good showing. Cataclysmic difficulty, and for our perks, I'm still going to go for the free enhancements, the influence perk, plus passive damage. This time we need to go for natural disasters. And with your fifth perk, you have a couple of different options. You could go for slow alertness to try and counteract how quickly the humans will be taking notice of you, or you could go for more energy in order to just spread across more regions at the same time, or you could even go for instant expansion and try to get a free infection in a different region. Lots of options here. I shouldn't need any of that though, so again, I'm going to go for the XP boost, but all of these could be halfway decent choices. Once again, right off the bat, we are going to be pausing the game, and I'm going to go to my influence. Since we do start off with quite a few influence points, we can afford to grab a couple levels of the public hysteria, plus trust issues, and a level of worldwide infrastructure degradation, reducing the cost of all of my abilities and saving me a lot of souls throughout the entire game. So here are the storms. Unleash massive storm systems that batter regions and coastlines over time. The thing about storms is they are very good in coastal regions. So typically speaking, you want to place this wherever you're going to have a very high population that is coastal. One of the best choices you could probably have is going to be down here in Southeast Asia. There's quite a lot around Indonesia, so that is my recommended starting location. I'll go ahead and start that off. For enhancers, let's go for a resource boost. I'm going to go for a rapid spread just so we can try getting into other regions a little bit faster, especially to start us off, and then probably one level of energy efficiency wouldn't be bad. If you don't want the rapid spreader, it's okay to go for some extra damage. I just find that this ends up being a little bit helpful. Let's once again go ahead and start harvesting some extra influence. We might need a few souls just to kickstart things, but this kind of gets everything going. We do want to get our next level of trust issues so we can harvest even more influence as time goes on. Then we can go for the extra souls, and from there, I don't know, just more energy, more damage, more whatever the heck we want. Now, as far as our different perks, there's a couple different things we can look at here. So, as I said, we have a very low expansion speed with the storms. We can counteract that a little bit by putting some points into atmospheric pressure, and I do recommend doing this at least once or twice kind of early on. That's going to help you get into other regions so you can start building up some gas. Beyond that, going for wind speed is just going to increase your attack size, and that is one good thing about the storms. Whenever we have a tick of damage, it hits a very wide area, and we can boost that up by a lot. Another option here would be to go for multicellular storm, which is a way of increasing the rapid spread enhancer effect. If you chose to just ignore this entirely, well then don't bother picking this up, but since I did for only 3 points, that's actually a pretty fast way of spreading things out. As this little bar starts filling out, that's where we're going to have opportunities to spread up. So the more you boost this up, the faster it goes, and then all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, that wasn't so bad. So the main downside of the storm is kind of already dealt with. Well, who even cares? Now we're in Southeast Asia. I mean, in Australia, sorry. Just go ahead and do this. It's totally fine. I don't even care about doing things like resource boosts here or energy efficiency because this place is just not worth a lot. Australia exists just to kind of screw you over in this game, if I'm honest. It exists to make you forget that it's there, and then, oh, lo and behold, I forgot that it was a thing, and now we're going to regret it. Now, I am going to go for some media disinformation a little early, just resetting some of the alertness. You are going to find this builds up a lot faster than you might be used to. Since we have enough influence, though, to already pick up the moral decay and the influence control, let's swap over to auto-collecting some souls. I do want to have a little bit more gas. Let's go for the wind speed, and we can just start killing a little bit faster. Again, if you forgot to go for this or chose not to go for the rapid spreader, maybe go for a second level of atmospheric pressure first instead, but I think we'll be all right. From here on out, the tornado is very straightforward. We can just do more damage and have more area attack size, And then we also can have like a special skill that fires off every 4 days. You have no control over it. It just sort of happens. And an extra tornado cluster will spawn and do a lot of extra damage. And then you can make that tornado cluster really, really good, right? That's kind of what you do. So there's really nothing complicated about the storm. It is a very, very simple disaster type to play around with. I can't go into East Asia, unfortunately. That is going to be a little too expensive. But once we have a lot more influence to work with, we could get ourselves some additional energy. In fact, I'll go ahead and pick this up now. If we wanted to, we could go for the energy response failure, just like we did for the respiratory disease, and that wouldn't be bad. I'd also love to go into places like Mumbai, but we're kind of stuck here until we can get a lot more energy, just for a little bit longer. That's enough souls for the moment. Let's go ahead and swap over back to influence for auto-collect. I'm going to do some extra damage, and that's probably all we can afford at the moment. I don't need to go for atmospheric pressure until we actually spread into another region over here. We're not going to spread over into Europe and stuff. The best we can hope for is maybe we get into North or South America, but it's going to be a bit. Now, humans have already become a bit more vigilant, which is a problem. We could go for things like moral decay and stuff. Countermeasures are going to start developing fairly quickly, and that is going to be a sizable problem for me. But until we get a little bit more souls, like, what can you do, right? Let's go ahead and pick up that cluster of tornadoes. So now we're going to start doing a lot more damage. Again, the big advantage of these is they're going to end up doing a lot of damage. We just have to build it up. We do not want these guys going for any healing. That is absolutely not allowed. If we can get a resource drop real quick, there it is, then we can go ahead and do the influence control, and that is going to increase the odds that we are going to get rid of this. So we'll spend 3 points. Okay, 75% chance. There we go. They're not going to be healing. That's fine. We're trying to get as much of this soul stuff going as we can here, but it is, yeah, it's a little bit on the slow side. Do we want to go for atmospheric efficiency and stuff like that? Yeah, probably. Just go ahead and fire off some of these tornado clusters a little bit faster. They're working on those countermeasures fast, but they haven't started working on the arc yet. So we're okay right now, but I really would benefit a lot more from some additional points. I need to get that energy influence and stuff up and running as fast as I can. Make that a lot stronger. Souls are looking pretty good. We probably could just go for warm air mass if you want to get some critical hit chance. That's not bad, but generally speaking, I think it's going to be better just to go ahead and grab another level of wind speed and lightning strikes first, and then focus more on some of the wind shear and other tornado clusters. I mean, there's a lot of them spawning right now. Like, Indonesia is getting absolutely hammered. No way around it. We need 12 influence for this next thing, so nothing we can do there for a little bit longer. But yeah, you kind of get the idea. Another countermeasure developing over here. Australia is dying pretty quickly. This is going to cost me influence points. I can't allow that. I need those influence points, so we're going to try to get rid of it. We got lucky, no problem. That's looking fine. More tornado clusters, make them attack larger areas, and blah, blah, blah. We are going to kill very, very quickly with the storms. Like, it's pretty good at that. Pretty darn good. Can you give me a resource drop now, please? Like, I feel like I'm overdue for that. One, please, sir, can I have some more? Just one more resource drop, please, so that I can get that energy efficiency and start spreading around the world. No? Okay, thanks, game. All right, humans are building the ark now. Once you kill enough humans, that's usually what ends up triggering all of this. There it is, finally. All right, let's go for the energy. That is going to make it so we now save enough that I can move into places like up over here. It looks bad right now, but that's fine. Energy efficiency is done. Don't need the rapid spread. I do want the resource boost. And I could go for extra attack size, or I could go for damage. Either one really is fine. Doesn't matter all that much. We just want to start killing over here as quickly as we can. More healing. Man, you guys are really trying for this. Now, at some point, no, see, that didn't work. At some point, you are going to run out of corruption points, and if that is the case, but you have plenty of influence to go around, good news is, with the order of builds I've been playing out for you, you can usually find a couple of different things here. Spend a few influence, get like 12 more corruption points. You'll be fine. Really nothing to worry about. What I probably do need to do, though, is start getting myself some active abilities, and this is a good time to go ahead and just try out something different we haven't played with yet. How about the tornado? Now, I think the tornado is objectively weaker than the asteroid in every meaningful way, but it's thematically appropriate, so it's what we're going to go with. I don't love it, but it's fine. All you do is you just like place something down like right here, and it just does a little bit of selective damage. Not even a lot of damage, mind you, but it's fairly cheap from an energy perspective, so you can use it a lot. I mean, yeah, great, I guess. Whatever. Let's focus mostly still on getting our passive damage up and just try to get that going for us. We're almost done in Southeast Asia, at which point we can easily start moving over to places like India, which will be great for us. I can go for some extra energy, but what I'm going to do instead for now is just go for some extra attack and area for our storms. Indonesia is now going to be dead. Perfect. Can't actually move there yet, but I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to run a little low on energy, but it's okay. I do need the rapid spreader here, unfortunately, so we can try spreading faster into places like Asia. You have a little bit of time, even though you're kind of running out of energy. You do have a little bit of time before you actually run out of gas. It's not a huge deal. What is happening over here? Oh, right, on the arc, they're trying to actually build faster. We do not want that. Let's go ahead and override that. Perfect, thank you kindly. That does happen. Easy to miss this little guy up over here, but if they actually build that arc up fast, you're going to be sad. So, yeah, don't let that be a thing. East Asia is almost dead. I'm going to go ahead and probably grab even more tornado clusters so we can kill even faster. China is going to be dying out pretty soon here as well. Let's try to help out in places like India. Faster we kill this, probably the better. What I would like to do is maybe go for another round of energy, so I need a little bit more influence for that to work. There we go. Energy is now solved over here. That's fine. Now it's really, really solved. But guess what? We haven't actually spread into another region. Now we have. Thank you, India. So I want to go into probably, we'll go up here, and we're almost able to do this. Let's go to Moscow, get another energy efficiency, and then an energy efficiency here. That brings me to 22. So now we're starting to spread west pretty aggressively. I do need another rapid spreader over there. That's all the souls that I've got to work with since we don't have any more free upgrades, but it's okay. Now, we're not going to be having a lot of coastal damage, so Storm starts getting less impactful at this point, but it's okay because we are going to be able to kill very, very rapidly. We did manage to kill off India, which means we want to move into North America up over here. We're going to take a little while to spread, but I'll get a rapid spread over there again. And then I don't want to spend the rest of my points yet. What else could we be working on? We could go for more wind speed. We could try going for some wind shear. We could go for some critical hit chance. And I actually think that's probably not a bad idea. 25% chance extra crit is actually very, very impactful. There are a few people up in Siberia still alive over here, but don't worry. The storms are coming for you. It's going to be a thing. But, like, look how weak this tornado is. Like, by itself, it just does so very little. It's just not good. I don't like it. You compare that to the asteroid, which pretty much right off the bat, yeah, it costs a lot of energy to work, but like it's gonna just hit like a truck right off the bat. Very, very strong stuff. Let's go ahead and grab myself some extra corruption points since we did unfortunately fail 2 rolls so far in this game. So we'll get rid of that. That's currently increasing my energy cost. Not that that really matters right now, but it's like, I might as well just go ahead and get rid of it. Let's start upgrading the tornado just a little bit to try and make it a little better. We can go for, let's say, some extra hot and coastal damage. That's okay. We can increase how many souls we get from whenever it kills things. I mean, that's fine for just farming out some gas, I suppose. I mean, like, meh, it's very uninspired, but if we increase the attack size and stuff, maybe we can do something with it. So, like, let's go over here, for example, and just do a quick tornado, and yeah, that's all it does. It's like, okay, well, you know, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I'm not inspired. I do not care. This does not spark joy. We should not need energy efficiency from here on out. I'm just going to go ahead and grab things like some resource boosts, plus some area attack damage and stuff like that, and just start killing a lot faster. Already you can see how this is inferior compared to the respiratory disease. The arc is up to 65%, and we really have not managed to kill most of the world. But with 2 regions already down, we are starting to get that global decay effect, and that's pretty nice, so it's okay. Everyone in Moscow is dead. Let's go ahead and try to finish off, well, I can't actually finish off Europe. Can we finish off Africa? Yep, that's going to be an option for us, so let's just go ahead and boost that up. Again, more souls and stuff, trying to get myself a little bit more gas. We can try to help things around in Europe with the tornado, I guess. It gets me some soul farming, but yeah, I don't know. I really hate it. I really do hate it. I don't recommend it. It's, like, in my opinion, one of the worst active types in the game. There are a couple of things in this game, like civil wars and stuff, that I think are just genuinely terrible. Tornado is one of them. It's awful. We're actually almost done with Europe, and guess what? We haven't even done anything with them. So that's already gone. Let's go ahead and move storms over into, let's say, South America and into the rest of North America. We are missing a region up over here. Well, I'll just go ahead and start using my tornadoes to speed this along, but like, yeah, North America will be falling here pretty darn soon. Could go for probably some additional wind shear, that's fine, but like, we haven't had nearly as many souls to work with as we had in the previous run either, right? So like, storms just are not that great. They're just, man. We need to go ahead and once again try to slow down the arc before that becomes a problem. With the extra influence that I have right now, I don't mind spending a bit to, let's say, increase the area and the damage of all of my storms. I mean, the one plus side is, like, look how fast everything's dying now. That is faster. It is objectively faster, and that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and keep casting some more of those tornadoes. This is going to die off here pretty soon, and we haven't infected this region yet, which is a small problem, but the thing is, once this dies, usually it's fine. One thing I don't like about the storms, notice how many of these storms are popping up and then not actually killing anybody. Like, they're popping up in totally irrelevant areas. That does happen, unfortunately, as well, which sucks. But because I use an active ability here, this place is going to die fast, and the good news is, even if it wouldn't have spread over here, like, once you've killed all these regions, I'm pretty sure it auto-infects another region for you. So let's just go ahead and increase the damage, and then we're just going to go ahead and toss another one of these. Now, the arc is about to be finished. Now, this is bad in the sense that, oh no, humans are trying to get away, but you do have a little bit more time still. Until 5,000 people have managed to exodus off of the planet, we've got nothing to worry about. And since I just killed everybody, I don't think they even got anybody on board. That only affects your score. It doesn't realistically affect the way you play the game at all, so we're fine. Now, what I just did here would have been a little bit better since I did just upgrade my natural disasters. That's an extra 10% damage from all of my abilities. That includes the passives and the active abilities. So this would have gone a smidge faster if I had been one level higher, but it's okay. I don't really love the storms, but it's fine. Once you learn how to use them, it's good. You'll get through the first chapter of the game, and then you probably never have to touch them again. What's really good is, honestly, if you do the respiratory disease and you do the storms together. The storms will take out like 1 or 2 continents, the respiratory disease gets you a ton of souls, and then you're fine. But for the sake of argument, I just wanted to show off one at a time. That's all you need to know. From here on out, everything starts getting a little bit more complicated. We're going to be taking on some special disaster types that have unique mechanics, and you're going to have to learn how to play around them. But this is enough to at least start farming out everything you're going to need for some extra perks and finish out Chapter 1. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed and found this helpful. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.